Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and this is going to be a look at an interesting product I came across. I was actually doing some last minute Christmas shopping and I went into Bass Pro Shop and I saw this right here. Now, what caught my eye is that it said lighted paracord. So at first I thought it was like maybe glow in the dark paracord, especially in this color here. But then I saw that the paracord actually came into this little battery holder. So I picked it up, I started looking at it, and then I noticed that basically what it is this cordage actually has, I guess, LEDs inside of it, or it's somehow lit by this little unit here. So as you can tell from the packaging, this does come in a couple different lengths. This one right here is 10 feet. This is the smallest one they had. So it's 10 feet, 24 feet, or 50 feet. Now I picked this guy up so I can try it out, test it out, just because, again, it seemed kind of interesting. Now, this is by Eclipse, which is actually a brand of from Bass Pro Shop. So Bass Pro Shop puts out this separate brand of Eclipse. They had a couple other things with that same brand there. So this one here for 10 feet was about $9.99. I think the 24-foot one was $19.99, and then the 50-foot one was $34.99, if I'm not mistaken. It was also available in 3 different colors. They had this kind of neon green one, they had a standard white one, and then they had a kind of light blue one. So I went with the green one. I figured, depending on what I would use it for, it would be a lot easier to see. The white one, I think it would probably get dirty too easily. So as you guys can tell down here, it does say that the battery case has a clip on it and also runs off of 3 AA batteries, and it is water resistant. I'm assuming that they mean the case here. So when you look in the back, it says basically, you can use it to decorate the inside, outside of your tent, canopy, or camper. You can wrap trees and shrubbery for decoration, or you can decorate your campsite or walking paths. So, and it also says do not use for climbing, obviously. So, I think for the most part, the usage for this is probably going to be, obviously, as you can tell by the packaging, when you're going out camping and things like that, to light up an area. So if you have like a designated area where your food is going to be, or if you need to light up your way to your camp or something like that, you can use this because of the fact that you can wrap it around, you know, like a tree or a different area or something like that. So again, this is one of those things that you can purchase it and find a use for it. I do a lot of stuff with paracord. You know, I do bracelets and things like that. I like flashlights. So I think they combine the two into this and into something pretty interesting. Now, I wanted to, you know, purchase one and check it out to see if it definitely would work, how bright it was, you know, and things like that. Because again, if this is supposed to be lighting up the whole length of paracord, then, you know, if you're going into the 50-foot one, then that's a long way to light it up. So in the back, it does give you a little bit of information as far as the battery goes. So with the batteries in there, the 10-foot one is going to give you 70 hours, the 24 one is going to give you 40 hours, and the 50-foot one is going to give you 30 hours. So again, depending on how much you need versus how much time you want it to be lit is, you know, where you would get that, you know, to see which one you would pick up. So let me go ahead and open this up. It just has a little plastic around the actual paracord part, and it's kind of wound around there. So I'll go ahead and unwind it. And in the end right here, it has a little plastic tab. I don't know if you guys can make it out, but there's a little plastic tab, and it just feels like regular paracord. So again, I was interested to see how this is going to work. Let me unwind all of it. Again, this one is 10 feet. So even at 10 feet, you get a pretty good length depending on what it is that you're going to be doing with it. So, and again, you have the color options, you know, the neon green one here, I think is the most visible one. But as I unravel this, you can kind of see the picture. So basically they have it wrapped around a tree right here, and then you see little points at certain intervals of the cordage where it's actually lit up. So let me go ahead and take out the battery case portion. Make sure I don't cut myself. So like I said, this was more of an impulse purchase. I saw it. They had it obviously close to the registers where people do the majority of their impulse buying. Okay. Let's see. All right. if I can cut this hole so I can get the paracord out. All right, we'll set this packaging to the side. Put this back. All right, so here is the battery case. Again, it is a plastic case. And you have a little instruction manual right here. Again, I'm seeing this for the first time as you guys are. So just your instructions. It says ultra bright LED bulbs, paracord plated with solid color or of polyester, and the LED light strips woven together with 3 cores of polyester. It says push on-off switch and operates on 3 AA batteries. All right, so let's see. It says open the battery case cover. Okay. All right. So I am going to pause the video for a second and put the batteries in there, and I'll be right back. All right, guys. So I went ahead and installed the batteries. Basically, all you have to do is remove these 2 screws. The back plate comes out, put the batteries in there, put the back plate back on, and then replace the screws. Now, right off the bat, I can tell you that that is something that I don't like, especially if you're marketing this for camping. I really wish they would have put like maybe a little latch or something like that, because again, you have to take those screws out where you're out in the woods. Keep track of them. They're little tiny screws, and then put them back on. And if you don't, then this back door is going to keep on falling out. Another thing is, even though you do have the clip here, it feels a little flimsy. So I'm assuming this is probably just going to be so you can attach it to like a tent or something like that. If you're going to be running this, obviously you're not going to be holding this onto your bag or onto your side or anything like that. So you're not going to be clipping this onto your belt. But you could if you wanted to. If you wanted to maybe wrap it around your backpack so you can signal yourself, or you can make yourself more visible at night. Obviously, that is another option. Like I said, this is something that you're going to purchase and find a usage for it. Now, the other thing that I wanted to see is this area right here where the paracord actually attaches to the battery case. How sturdy is that? Is it something that if you tug real hard on, it's going to come out? And for the most part, just your basic tug, you know, it feels like it is going to hold very nicely. So here is the cordage. I know I just unraveled it, so it looks kind of, you know, knotted and stuff like that, but it's all out. So you have 2 buttons on the battery unit here. So you have this button right here, which is a temporary on. So basically just press it on and, you know, hold it, and you're going to get the lights come on the paracord. And as you guys can tell, it's every couple of inches, I would say about 6 inches, you have an LED light in there. So you have an LED strip running on the inside of that. So this is really cool. It's nice and bright. Let me go ahead and turn off this overhead light so you guys can see it better. So again, I'm still holding on to it. If I let go, it will turn off. So you guys can tell the difference from no lights, and then it does light up quite a bit, which is really nice. And again, this is not going to be used to, you know, per se light up a big area. This is more of a signal. This is more of a marker, you know, so you can tell where things are and things like that. Now, the other button on the top right here is actually the constant on. So if you press that, the lights will stay on. So there it is. So all the lights are on. Then you have a couple different modes. If you press it again, it'll actually blink very fast like that. So if you need to attract a lot of attention or something like that, this is a great mode for that. And then if you press it again, it's just going to be a slower blink. So again, really cool. You do have a lot of different options. And then one more press, it'll turn it off. So let me turn this overhead light back on. So I think for the most part, it's a pretty cool idea. Again, if you're the type of person that's going to need this type of usage from the cordage, and that's because you know, some people use lanterns and things like that, but let's say, as you saw in the packaging, if you're wrapping this around a tree, it's going to give you 360-degree view of the light around that tree. So maybe it's an area that you want to make sure nobody goes around. You know, maybe it's a big tree, you don't want anybody knocking into it or anything like that. You know, you can go ahead and wrap this around, and you can start out at the bottom and go up, so it's, you know, nice and tall visibility to it. If you want to, you know, thread this through your camp or your tent, you know, like maybe on the inside of the tent, you can go ahead and do that. And, you know, then it'll give you a little bit more area light on the inside of the tent. Again, you do have quite a few hours of battery usage. So on the 10-foot one, it's going to give you, what would I say, 70 hours of usage, which is really awesome because, you know, it's going to last you a long time. And again, it's running off of 3 AAA batteries, which are readily accessible. So you can just, pack, maybe a couple more in your bag so you can have replacements. Again, the one drawback I see is the 2 screws there that you do have to take out to replace the battery. So you're going to have to keep track of those to make sure that they don't go anywhere. But again, for the most part, if worst case scenario, you can just kind of duct tape it if that were to happen. And you do have the momentary on with that one button, or the constant on with the other one, and then the different flashing. So the fast, steady flash, and then the slower flash there. So for the most part, I think it's a cool product. Again, it's more of an impulse thing. You don't necessarily need it. You don't have to go out and buy it, but it's a nice novelty item. So if you have, maybe if you want to put it in your kid's bedroom or something like that, you can also do that, like as a nightlight. I have 2 boys. They have a bunk bed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be threading this through the bunk bed, and then at night they can just turn it on. It'll serve as a nightlight. The only drawback, again, with that is that it will not shut off on its own, so you have to physically shut it off. But, again, it's running off of, AA batteries, which I can easily replace if they go dead. So there it is. Let me get the packaging again. That is the Eclipse lighted paracord from Bass Pro Shop. Again, this one is the 10-foot version. They have a 24-foot version and a 50-foot version, and they have in neon green, light blue, or white. So if you guys are interested, I say go by your local Bass Pro Shop and check them out. Maybe pick one up for yourself. So there it is. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.